and gentlemen,
let's go. Level up.
Lifestyle, wellness, and a damn good time.
Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up.
ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Hit it.
You're listening to the Holistic Life Podcast, presented by Say What Radio.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
That's not happening.
What up? Welcome. Yo, welcome to the Holistic Life Show. I'm Jenny.
I'm so confused.
He's Jay. And we are here in the flustercluck of 2020, ready to deliver you some inspiration, laughs, and fun to help you live a better life and reach all your goals. Okay, don't turn it off. Like literally, we are way cooler than that. Listen, so we were supposed to be in Oregon this week, and instead we came to the East Coast of Florida. And we're over here living life, living the dream. What does that mean, right? Like we're out here exploring. We've got our stand-up paddle boards. We've got our bikes. We are out here living life and enjoying it, honestly. It's great. And what I find interesting, and this is something for me that has been the case, what I feel like my whole life, is I always have done cool shit. I've traveled a lot. I've experienced a lot. I've seen a lot. And people are like, oh my God, you're so lucky. How do you do all that? I wish I was as lucky as you. Oh my God. And I mean, I get it because sometimes we are unsure on how to create these fun, exciting experiences for ourselves. So I get it. But the other part is I'm like, it's not about luck.
Right.
Like everything I've done in my life.
You made that shit happen.
Right. It's like by design. Like I have decided that I wanted to do these things and I find a way to make them work. And sometimes there's times in my life where like I haven't been able to add more fun and adventure into my life because I wasn't sure how. Like, hello, when I worked in corporate America and worked really long days. But the thing is even though I was working, I say that and then I'm like, that's not true, because even though I was working and I was flying all over the country, I still motherfucking found ways to have fun. And it would drive me nuts seeing other people, like not take advantage of the opportunities and complain about work and, oh my God, I gotta work. And I was like, man, I'm in Colorado, I'm hiking.
Right.
I'm in Arizona, I'm hiking. I'm in whatever place, I'm doing whatever thing that's going to be fun that has me feeling normal. And so that idea of normal that is coming up, especially a lot in 2020, like all this stupid mainstream media headlines of like, oh my God, is this the new normal? We're going to try to get the new normal or whatever. But the thing is like life, I feel like is all about, for fucking lack of better terms, like finding your new normal. Because as you grow and as you level up and as you phase into new things, your normal is always going to change. When you meet somebody, when you get married, when you move in together, when you have kids, when you get a dog, when you switch houses, when you go to a new school, when you buy a car, whatever.
Right.
Like anything, when you get a new job, like whatever it is you do, there's always going to be an adjustment period to figure out like, how do I make this flow? And so the thing is what do you talk about, Jay? You talk about like, if you're not growing, you're dying. What did you say recently?
Sounds about right.
Right? And so it's like, if you want more fun and adventure in your life, go fucking do it. Okay, that's like the motivational speaker, like you can do it because you can. But let's get real. There's a couple of things that probably need to be in place.
Right. Like what?
Like what? Okay, Vanna White. No, I feel like, there's always factors. Look, you can always just go do it and say, fuck it, and go do it. But sometimes we feel like we have a lot of attachments to things that we aren't willing to let go of.
Right.
In order to make room for new things. Here's a metaphor or whatever. Is a metaphor, analogy? I guess a metaphor, whatever it is. Here's a thing that can explain what what I'm talking about that I used a while back and I haven't used in a while. Look at your life. Your life is like a cup of water. Okay? The cup, I don't care. It could be 8, 12, 64 ounces. You can get the mega cup. It doesn't matter. Pick a cup and that's your life. I'm the 128 ounce big cup because why the fuck not? But the thing is you can only put so much water in that cup before it starts spilling out all over your hands, the floor, your
Everywhere.
clothes, right?
Right.
And so if all the things in your life are the water, so your job, your priorities, your kid, your house, your spouse, whatever, like the things that you have filled your cup up with, when you try to add in something new, for example, adventure, oh my God, I want to be like Jenny and Jay and I want to go out stand-up paddleboarding. You're so lucky. Oh, I want to ride bikes more. You're so lucky. When you try to add that thing in, then what happens?
The water spills over?
Right, because there's no room. And you try to make it work and you're fumbling and jumbling and you're stressed out. And hopefully, if you finally got to go ride your bike or do whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, you're also feeling more at ease. But then also like the inverse effect of that is that now you are stressed out because there's other responsibilities that now are potentially falling. So the logical thing would be to pour out some of the water, to make some space for new things. But that can be tough for people because sometimes we feel like they're literally, or all the things that we're doing are all necessary.
That's so true. Because it's like everything is important, but like, is it really important? And it's like, you know, finding that leverage to do the things. And I think one of the big things too is like figuring out what you really want to do. Like, and trying it out and seeing how that feels and like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is you literally, I mean, I can't say this enough, but this is just something I believe in every single thing in my body is like you literally can create and design anything for your life. Anything and everything is possible.
Talk about normal real quick. Something that just like literally happened. You had an Enclave, real nice vehicle, but got rid of the Enclave for a Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Subaru. Discovered we fucking love stand-up paddleboarding, but we live in an apartment. So getting a hardboard paddleboard wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, right? So we got the inflatable joints. Perfect. We can travel with them. Great, right? Decided to take this little trip to the East Coast of Florida, and it was a tight fit. And it's like, okay, well, this car was supposed to last, you know, because Subarus are built to last and all that good stuff. So it's like upgrade, like normal. It's the normal we thought was normal is no longer normal because we have these other variables that goes into everything, you know? And it's not like thinking about that. It's like making what we have do or potentially upgrading to something, you know, that might be sound silly in the grand scheme of things, but that's exactly what this is. Like what we had is normal. But then this new thing is introduced into this life. So our normal is no longer normal. We have to adapt.
It's interesting because as you say it, it just seems so simple. Yet when we are in our day-to-day lives, sometimes, actually a lot of times, we overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Right? And we overthink things and we overcomplicate and we think things have to be harder than they really need to. And they really don't. They really don't. And sometimes it can be challenging for us as humans to let go of a reality that no longer serves us. And the example that Jay brought up of the Subaru and the car and us loving stand-up paddleboarding right now is that when we bought the car, our intention was to have this car for life and it's going to serve us and there's not really a whole lot we're doing. And that was based on the information we had right then.
Right.
And sometimes we don't know what the future has in store. We might have dreams, but things change and things shift. I mean, we were even talking about, man, what do we really want? Like, what do we want to experience even more of? What do we want to create? And trying on different things. Because I'm not saying we're going to do all these things, but we were like, man, if we're enjoying stand-up paddleboarding, do we maybe want to camp and take our paddleboard so we're right there next to the spring? Or do we want to like stay in a cabin? Or do we want to like camp in our car? Now, will we do all those things? I don't know. That's not really Jay's style. But the thing is like we're trying on things that totally didn't make sense before, that we're going, is this what we want to do? Does this sound fun? Is this how we want to spend our time? Is this what lights us up? Is this what makes us happy? And for me, that's what adventure means. And that's why I've called myself a life adventurist for a while. And it's really like, how can you find more ways to find that connection to fun and freedom and fulfillment in your life? And adventure is a term that literally has like a sliding range of meanings, because to some people, adventure might be bungee jumping off a cliff or free climbing on freaking a sheer wall face where you have no ropes and you could fall to your death, but that's adventure. To be honest, even though I'm a life adventurist, that kind of shit freaks me out. That's not the type of adventure I'm into. I like learning and watching and, like...
I definitely bungee jump off something.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's... I don't know, man. That kind of gets me. That gets you. I'm kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, I
right?
definitely do it. Skydiving, yeah, I do that.
Those kind of freak me out. Like, my adventure is a little different, but that's the point. Define adventure for you.
And I think the vision aspect too is like you kind of have an idea. That's what the vision is, but not being so set. Like the vision isn't like the end all be all. It's kind of like a map or a blueprint, It's like, yes, this is here, but there's so many ways to get here. And sometimes the vision changes, and it's like being okay with the vision changing, whatever the vision is.
Yeah, it's true, because, oh man, I'm just thinking about so many things, because I get excited. For me, I get really excited anytime I have the opportunity to have a blank slate, or to kind of like when things open up. And what I mean by that is whenever like, I'm in between jobs, or I want a new job, or I'm getting ready to like carve a new path. Like I really like the idea of having like that blank slate. And literally you have a blank slate available to you at all times, potentially. But like you commit to go to college for 4 years, or you buy a house and you've got mortgage payments, or you have a kid, or I don't know, there's just certain things that kind of ground you into a situation.
Right.
And still you can change anything. Not that you get rid of your kid, but like you can change. I want to clarify that, but you can change. Like, you start for college and you decide it's not for you. Like you can still change your situation, but there's certain things that we commit to that ground us into that experience. But when things kind of start jiggling up and kind of opening up, because I feel like a little bit right now with 2020 and the pandemic and all this stuff, well, there's been a lot of heavy shit with it and a lot of crazy things and, a lot of sad things that have happened. I feel like there's still a lot of inspirational, exciting things that can come from this time, because a lot of people are realizing a lot of things. They're realizing, wow, I really want to get outdoors more. Wow, fuck it, man. I'm going to go do that thing I always wanted to do. Why wait?
Right.
Or whatever, man, like just new realizations because you have the time now. I even love like a good friend of ours who lives in New York, man. Like he's a cool freaking person and we love talking to him. But to be honest, we were pretty busy and he was pretty busy.
Right.
We have talked to him and got even more so FaceTimed with him.
More in the last, what?
Month or something?
3 weeks than we have in
Dude,
the
he
last
hits
3
us up
years.
on, he hits us up and he's like, yo, hop on a video with me. And I love the chats because they're random, but that would have not happened before.
Right.
Definitely not. Like, we talked, but dude, we're talking like all the time now.
It's a whole different level.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. Things are different and in a good way. So, when it comes to vision and life and whatnot, that's why I just get excited about the blank slate. But hey, if a blank slate's not in your cards right now, fine. The whole thing is like, you think we're lucky with all the things we have. How can all the things we have and do, the adventures that we go on? The question is, how can you step into and create your own adventure?
Right.
If you think it's cool that we ride bikes all the time and you would love to do that, how could you ride bikes more? Rent a bike. There are so many ways that you can do something. If you don't have the money to buy a bike right now, brand new, whatever bike that you want, how can you rent a bike and try it out? How can you borrow a friend's bike? How can you maybe find something on Facebook Marketplace or wherever you shop? I don't know, whatever, like a used bike or something. Maybe you can get one for $50 instead of $1,500. How could you maybe find other ways to experience that?
You could definitely get an inexpensive bike. Opportunities are out there, and then you could soup it up, you could trick it out piece by piece. Like, it doesn't have to be fresh off the showroom. If you're ready, able, and willing, the opportunities will present themselves. You just got to be self-aware.
Right. That's going a little bit into our Levolutionary blueprint process, because as you are creating next levels of your life, we have 4 stages that you're going to go through. So stage 1 is being self-aware. Stage 2 is a raw mindset, which is ready, able, and willing. So to be ready to make that change, you have to be able with your surroundings and your environment, be willing to make that change. Because sometimes we think we're ready, but we're not willing. Legit willing, like when you get down to it. And then you can go have a ton of adventure, but if you're huffing and puffing and you don't have the endurance, you're going to be frustrated, right? Like, you're like, yeah, man, I want to hike the Grand Canyon. And then you start and you're trying to come up the stairs and you're like, fuck. I mean, look, even if you're in good shape, maybe the Grand Canyon wasn't the best thing, because even if you're in really good shape, you're still going to be huffing and puffing. But maybe the difference is you can go for 10 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes without taking a break, compared to if your health and wellness, which is stage 3, if your health and wellness isn't there, improving, whatever, you're going to go for 5 minutes and need a break. And it's going to be frustrating. Or maybe you're trying to play soccer with your kids and you can't even hardly run around. Or hell, maybe you're trying to walk up the stairs in your house or your apartment or whatever, and you're huffing and puffing on that. It's like the little things. So you can still go have adventure, but if you put the first 3 stages in place, then the adventure and fun is going to be that much more amazing, because you're going to have the mindset. You're going to have the ability to enjoy on all levels. Jay, you're quiet. This is a podcast. We speak on the podcast.
Burn.
I'm not burning you, but they can't see your eyeballs and your nods.
No, I agree.
I guess leave you on this question here. How can you make the remainder of 2020 absolutely fantastic for you and make the most of this year? Because good, bad, or indifferent, the days are still going to come. Days are still going to pass. As much as we all joke about, oh, I wish 2020 would just move on and 2021 to come. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, Jay, you said you're waiting for aliens to come.
I'm still waiting for aliens.
I mean, I get it. But also, too, these days, these moments kind of only happen once.
And so I think, this year's put a lot into perspective. Time is limited. And how do you want to spend that time? That's super important. Are you going to wait till someone tells you you have X amount of days, months, years to start living? Or are you going to start living now and cherishing those moments?
I vote now. But you have to feel that in your core. You have to really step into that raw mindset so that you can really embrace the amazingness of life and being here and being present. And of course, hello, finding more adventure.
Because life is amazing, guys.
It really is.
Life is amazing. No matter what social media or anyone else wants to tell you or how different they disagree, life is still amazing.
And on that note, I can kick ass. Tell us all about your adventures. Hit us up on Instagram at @2_Jhala. Love to celebrate with you your fun and adventure. So shoot us a DM over there. What do they say over there on Instagram? Slide into my DMs.
No.
I don't want you to slide into nothing. Why don't you just message us? We're gonna come up with a cool saying for that. So anyways, can't wait to hit you up. Fuck, I can't hit you up if I don't know your shit. So you hit me up, I'll respond to you. And keep living that life. Mahala.